Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the online class of Business Studies. As we were continuing in the last class, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Today we will be going to continue with the same chapter, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Let us proceed with the chapter. When we go with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry student, it is that part of the business where all the rules and regulations are framed. As you know, business is not having any rules and regulation, as I already explained to you in the last class about Chamber of Commerce and Industry, but once again revision of that particular topic so that we can learn the other functions, features and demerits of Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Chamber of Commerce is an association of persons, people, students, I say to you people, it is an association of people, mainly the people who are of the rich businessman. There are considered as a Chamber of Commerce and Industry. There is a group which is appointed by all the businessmen so that they can represent their problems, the business in front of all the other states government and the central government. That is the main purpose of formation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So Chamber of Commerce and Industry are voluntary and non-profit making organizations for all types of businessmen operating in a particular territory or the state for the protection of interest of businessmen in general, and that territory is in particular. In simple words, we can say a Chamber of Commerce is a representative body of businessmen represent the business community of a particular region irrespective of a particular industry or trade. The composition and formation of a Chamber of Commerce and Industry differ from country to country, even from state to state. Like Chhattisgarh Chamber of Commerce and Industry will be different from Punjab's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. There, Punjab, the different rules and regulation. Here, Chhattisgarh, according to the prevailing business, they will be having different rules and regulation. The composition and formation of a Chamber of Commerce differ from country to country hence. In India, every major state has its own Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Even the minor state now they are formed their own Chamber of Commerce and Industry so that they can also represent their state business problem before the central Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So earlier they were Delhi Chamber of Commerce, Bengal Chamber of Commerce, Punjab Chamber of Commerce, etc. But now there are every state, MP, Chhattisgarh, every state is having their own Chamber of Commerce and Industry which can represent their businessman problems and problems before the other business states. Many chambers of commerce are affiliated to the Federation of India Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that is FICCI. That is the main Chamber of Commerce and Industry. When we go with the functions of Chamber of Commerce and Industry students, we have learned the various functions which is performed by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are as follows. Very first function says it represents the business community. What the Chamber of Commerce and Industry is doing, it is representing the business community before the other businessmen. So Chamber of Commerce act as a representative of the business community in front of the government and communities conferences. It makes the government aware of the problems of businessmen. It acts as a spokesperson. Spokesman means who will be representing one person. Every person cannot speak about the problem of their business. So one representative body is there, that is the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to whom all the businessmen put the problems and they represent before the other person. So they are acting as spokesman. The Chamber of Commerce act as a spokesman by giving suggestions to amend and alter the legislation in favor of businessmen. Like GST when it came. So all businessmen, what the problem they were facing, it was not said by all the businessmen, but it was put by the spokesperson of Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Settling dispute, definitely business is not having any rules and regulation, but there can be many types of disputes. So how could we solve the problems of these disputes? So Chamber of Commerce also frames some rules and regulation in which business have to exist. And the traders and industrials, between them, problems cannot be arise for that Chamber of Commerce and Industry is there. Setting code of conduct, student, in this point it has been said, as there are business ethics we have learnt in the last term 1 portion, and so Chamber of Commerce and Industry only frames the ethics, moral values for the business, though it is not there, but still it is framed by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So the Chamber of Commerce set up ethics related to code of conduct of businessmen by standardizing and improving their practices. providing facilities for education and research. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry keeps members informed to the latest information in the field of business, arranging seminars, etc. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry arranges lectures, conferences, seminars, etc. for exchanging views between the members. Providing classified information. Some chambers of commerce maintain statistical bureau for providing classified information to members. Providing certificate of origin. After conducting examination and research, the Chamber of Commerce provides certificate of origin to an exporter, which is an important export document. Role of Chamber of Commerce when we see functions we already completed. Today's topic we will be proceeding with role of Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Role of Chamber of Commerce and Industry when we see what is the role played by the Chamber of Commerce. Let us see one by one. Transportation. You know, transportation is a very important means for doing any type of business. Without transportation, we cannot think of the business. So, it is important component of business. So, the Chamber of Commerce intervenes in the following areas. Very first, transportation. Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries helps in interstate movement of goods from one state to another state. What the toll tax and everything has to be paid so that it can be moved safely from one state to another. That is seen by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. FICCI helps in registration of vehicles, construction of highways, etc. Sales tax and value added tax VAT. When we see student, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry suggests policies to government to harmonize the select sales tax and VAT structure of different states. To promote balance in trade, a uniform tax structure is needed. Laws to check weights and measures. The Chamber of Commerce suggests various policies and law related to check the manipulation in weights and measures and duplicate brand names. This is necessary to protect the interest of the consumer. Promoting infrastructure. For smooth flow of trade, sound infrastructure is very essential. The Chamber of Commerce and Industry is collaboration with the government is taking up investment projects for construction of goods, roads, transportation, railway stations, etc. So they promote infrastructure. In infrastructure, you know very well what all things come. That is the roads, railways, and everything. So it is also made developed by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, so that proper smooth functioning of the business can be possible. No interruption will be there. Helps in marketing. Some small scale traders of the state generally don't know how to make marketing of the product all around the country. So it is the duty of Chamber of Commerce helps the farming cooperatives and the small scale traders to make their products safe. FICCI plays an important role in marketing of agro products. Excise duty. What duty they have to pay and what rate they have to pay. Along with uniform sales tax and VAT, FICCI tries to have central excise duty for all the states. Excise duty affects the pricing of commodities. Labor legislation. Students. The Chamber of Commerce interferes with the government in formulation of labor law, wage act, etc. This is also the duty of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry to give the protection to the various laborers under the labor law and wage act so that disputes will not arise. Retrenchment, compensation, salary will be coming in compensation. Any accident happen, what claim they can get, the laborers, that is all mentioned in by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Because satisfied labor contributes effectively in running the industries. More economic development, more economic profit can be gained only when your laborers are happy. So labor legislation is also run under the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Main document used in internal trade are as follows. Very first, pro forma invoice. Internal trade. When we do trade from one state to another state, another part of the country. So it is done with the help of internal trade. Pro forma invoice. Very important. Order placement, how you can get by through the way of pro forma invoice. It is a confirmed purchase order containing the terms and conditions on which buyer and seller agree on the product, detail and cost. A sale quote is prepared in the form of pro forma invoice. This is sent in advance of commercial invoice. Commercial invoice, when we say this document is an evidence of contract between the buyer and seller. This document contains detailed description of goods, quantity, price, the total value, etc. and terms of payment. So that is the commercial invoice, students. So Main document used in internal trade, what we learned very first, very important, it is pro forma invoice. It can be asked, what do you mean by pro forma invoice? So what is pro forma invoice, students? It is that invoice, it is a confirmed purchase order containing the terms and conditions on which buyer and seller agrees on the product detail and cost. A sale quote is prepared in the form of pro forma invoice. Commercial invoice, when we go, student, this document is an evidence of contract between the buyer and seller. This document contains detailed description of goods quantity, price, total value, etc. and terms of payment. Commercial invoice. Next come lorry receipt. What do you mean by lorry receipt? You know, transportation of goods are done on lorry. So lorry receipt plays a very important receipt because it tells the company details what goods has been loaded and unloaded from one area to another area. When goods are sent by roadway, then this receipt is issued to the transporter and it is treated as document of title. Document of title shifts from one person to another person. It is taken from the seller and given to the buyer of the product. Railway receipts are very clear. Has the lorry receipt is there. There is same is a railway receipt, but it is issued through the way of railways. When goods are dispatched through the way of railroads, then railway authorities issue their receipt. It is also a document of title. Debit note. What is debit note? A form of letter issued by seller to advise the amount owed by the buyer. An invoice is a kind of debit note. Sometimes the seller issues a debit note when he charges less price from buyer than the actual price. Then debit note is given. Means less, if more has to be get by the seller, but he charge less to the buyer. So in case he want to get the rest of the money, he will be making a debit note. Credit note. It is a monetary instrument issued by the seller that allows a buyer to purchase any item or service on a future date. Means extra money if he had paid. It is issued by the seller as a goods gesture for a sales return. This note is a proof that seller owes the amount mentioned in credit note to buyer, and next time when the buyer will come, he will be giving the buyer such amount of goods. So there is a two note, debit note, credit note. Now terms of trade, the last part of the chapter. Terms of trade. There are some agreements on the basis of which the trade is done, and it is known as terms of trade. Very first term of the trade says COD, cash on delivery. Under this system, payment is made only when goods are delivered to buyer. Free on board, FOB. Under this contract, the seller is expected to deliver goods to the transporter, and buyer has to bear all the loss, risk or loss or damage. So that is free on board. C and F. Cost and freight. Under this system, the seller delivers the goods. For freight charges are borne by the seller, but risk of loss or damage is borne by the buyer. So here the thing is that though it is made by the seller, delivery of the goods, but risk will lie with the buyer of the product. So cost and freight price consist of FOB price plus freight charges. Next, CI and F. Cost, insurance and freight. Cost, insurance and freight should under this seller bears all the cost, freight and insurance charges against risk of loss, damage to the goods during transit. E and OE. Errors and omission are accepted. This is written in an attempt to reduce legal liability for incorrect or incomplete information supplied by the supplier in contractual documents such as price list, etc. It is generally used here in information in relatively fast changing. Once again, we can recall the main document used in internet trade. Students, main instrument used in internet trade, very first is pro forma invoice. This invoice is a general agreement between the buyer and seller that how much goods have been ordered, the cost of the goods and everything that seller will be dispatching to the buyer of the product. Commercial invoice is the invoice in which document is an evidence of contract between the buyer and seller. This document contains detailed description of goods, quantity, price, etc. in terms of payment. Lorry receipt, it is issued by the transportation company, roadways. When the goods are transported through the roadways, it is issued by the transporter and it is treated as document of title. Second is railway receipt. When your goods are transported through the way of railway, then it is issued by the railway authorities, this receipt. It is also a document of title. Debit note, credit note, there are the two notes. When the seller does not get the particular amount what he must receive, less amount he receive, then he will be paid a debit note in which it will be mentioned what price the buyer have to give more. Credit note, whereas it is opposite of debit note, here it is that note. It is a monetary instrument issued by the seller that allows a buyer to purchase any item or service on a future period date. It is issued by the seller as a goodwill gesture for a sales return. Means whenever next time the customer will come, they will be getting that much amount of good what the seller is having. This note is a proof that seller owes amount mentioned in the credit note to buyer. Terms of trade: COD, FOB, CI and F. When we talk about COD, cash on delivery, under this system payment is made only when goods are delivered to buyer. FOB, when we see student free on board, under this contract the seller is expected to deliver the goods to the transporter and buyer has to bear all the loss, risk or damage or everything free on board. So seller's duty is up to the delivery. After that, whose duty it becomes? It becomes a buyer duty. C and F, cost and freight. Under this system, the seller delivers the good. The freight charges are borne by the seller only, but risk of loss or damage is borne by the buyer. So here it is same as the FOB, but C and F price consists of FOB price plus freight charges, which is borne by the seller. CI and F, cost, insurance and freight. Under this, seller bears all the cost, freight and insurance charges, again risk of loss. E and OE, errors and omission accepted. This is written in an attempt to reduce legal liability for incorrect or incomplete information supplied by the suppliers in contractual documents such as price list, etc. It is generally used here information in relatively fast changing. So this was for today's class, and this class we got completed the internet trade. Thank you for the class. Have a nice day. Next class we will be going to start a new chapter, that is international business.